So hi everyone, welcome to our session. Today's session is going to be on Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. We are going to talk about the union of the soul and the role of constancy of aim and effort in that. So we'll just do an invocation and we'll start. Okay, so please close your eyes. Connect the tongue to the palate. Take a deep breath. Let's just calm our emotions and our mind. Inhale slowly. Exhale slowly. Let us pray. To the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, we thank you for your priceless blessings, for divine light, divine love, divine guidance, divine love, mercy, inner healing, physical healing. Thank you for the inner strength to practice regularly, for your divine help and protection, for illumination, for abundance and prosperity. We thank you. So let's do this whole affirmation. But while we do this whole affirmation, I will be guiding us through some of the things in that, when we talk about union of the soul, there are several steps to union of the soul. And it starts with awareness of our body, and then the awareness that we are not the body, we are the soul. Okay, so let's start. We're going to do this with awareness. Don't just like close your eyes and like drift off somewhere else. Try to be here. So let's start. So this whole affirmation says, I am that I am. So we are talking about us, the incarnated soul, being one with our own higher soul. I am not the body. Now, for most of us, our body is everything. We dress it, we clean it, we feed it, we want money for it. So for us to say, I am not the body, what does that mean? So what we're basically saying is that we are trying to withdraw from the body. We're trying to withdraw up to the soul level. So for that, you need to just be aware that your body is just melting away. So you'll be like, okay, if my body melts away, then what happens? Just think about it, that if someone, I'm going to use a sad example, but just to make a point. Let's say, for example, someone has an accident and they lose an arm. God forbid, but suppose that happens. Does that mean that they don't exist anymore? No, right? It's just that the part of the body doesn't exist anymore. So, and some people still feel the arm, that it's there. That's because the energy arm is still there. And those of us who have done pranic healing, we know what we're talking about. Those of us who haven't, you're welcome to do a workshop soon. Okay, so we're going back to the soul affirmation. What is it? I am that I am. I am not the body. So feel your body. Just, if your body wasn't there, would you exist? So when we say I am doing this or I am doing that, what are we talking about? So suppose, the body is not there. Will you still be there? That's what the soul affirmation is about. Okay, moving on, because for some people, dissociating from the body is very difficult. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is, I am not the emotions and I am not the thought. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you to think of an apple. Can you think of an apple? Now I say remove the apple. Can you remove the apple and think of a pear instead? Okay, now think of a grape. Okay, now think of an elephant, a giraffe, a zebra. Were you able to produce all of these images in your mind? So who produced them? You produced them. So I am not the emotions. I am not the thoughts. So again, when we get a thought which we don't like, then one thing for us to do is to basically tell ourselves, I created these thoughts and I can create different ones. So let's say, for example, I tell myself, Sheetal, you're not pretty enough, for example. Okay, I created the thought. Now I can change the thought. Okay, I may not be pretty enough, but I'm happy enough. I'm loving enough, or I'm kind enough, or maybe sometimes I'm not, but that's okay. Okay, so yeah, Kunal's laughing. He's like, yeah, right. Okay, so yeah, I know myself. I can be stern and firm at times. So that's how it is. So I can change the thought. So when I get the feedback, I'm like, maybe I need to change the thought, right? So I am not the emotions. I am not the thought. What's the relevance of this? The relevance of this is that we can create our own thoughts. That's what's the relevance of all of this. So I can be nice and I can be not nice. That's just my choice. Sometimes it's not my choice because I think it's not my choice, but actually it is. Okay, so I'm sure you don't like to listen to that. I didn't either, but let's just see how it seems to be. Okay, so again, no need to scold ourselves. So, don't create a thought of scolding yourself. That's not the purpose of this discussion. Purpose of this discussion is to be aware that we can change our thoughts. Okay, now we let's go to the next part, which is that I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. Now, what does that mean? That means that we are made in the likeness of God, and we have the three aspects of God within us, which are also called Vishnu, Brahma, Mahesh in Indian mythology. In Christianity, I think it is called the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And in Islam, it is called Allah al-Khaliq, Allah al-Wadud, and Allah Muqtadir. So these are the three aspects of God. So what we're saying is that we are those aspects of God, God with a small g. We have all those things, and we are one with our higher soul. That means that we are acknowledging that this incarnated soul, this body, this thought, this emotion does have a higher soul with us, and that higher soul is God with a small g. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to move on to another higher level, which is called God realized, which means that we have become one with God. Okay, so let's do that prayer and then we'll talk about it. So I am one with the divine spark within me. I am a child of God. I am connected with God. I am one with God, and I am one with all. What did we say? We said we are a divine spark connected with God. How do we do that? So just visualize a wave in the ocean. Now, every molecule of water in that wave is forming the wave, right? If you remove all the molecules of water, there will be no wave. Similarly, if you remove all molecules of souls, there will be no God. In the sense that we all are part of God. We all are one molecule that together in this entire cosmos, in this entire consciousness, forms God. Okay, so if you read the book, The Existence of God by Master Choa, he talks about many, many levels of God. So there, the way he describes it is there is a city government, a state government, a national government, etc., etc. Similarly, there are many, many levels of what we call, not levels of God, but it's like, it's a progression. So for example, there's us, then there's a higher soul, then there is, the human consciousness, then there is the planetary consciousness, then the solar logos, which is the solar consciousness. Now, the solar system is part of the galaxy, so the galactic God or the galactic logos. Then moving on to that, we will have the universe. And then Master Choa basically says that God being God cannot create one universe. So according to Master Choa's book, there are many, many universes. Okay, so why are we talking about this? We're talking about this, as Master would say, he says that often. He's like, well, why are we talking about this? So we say that because it makes us think. It's like, okay, so what? So what means what? Means that we are all part of God. You just think of the entire universe, the galaxy, the solar system, the planet, just keep coming down, keep coming down, keep coming down. And here you are, this one speck. But then this particular speck is part of the whole cosmos. We are all part of this whole cosmos. So we have a role to play. We have a role to play in this cosmos, and we have to play that role really, really well. And how are we going to do it? We are going to do it by striving to have union with our higher soul, striving to have union with the divine spark. Now, in order to do that, we need something called constancy, right? Because, if I meditate today and I don't meditate tomorrow, and it's not necessary that you only do pranic healing meditation, okay? Because some of us here are not pranic healers. That's okay. As long as you're doing some meditation, it's okay. Because what are you doing in the meditation? You're trying to reach out to your higher soul and then to God and then beyond, right? So that brings us to the topic of constancy of aim and effort. It's like, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. Or it's like, I'll do it right now. Okay, so that's the difference. So for now, we'll just get to that. We'll just try to get to a point where we can meditate every day. We have meditation here. There are many, many schedules available on World Pranic Healing website of different times. So there are so many meditations out there, so many twin hearts options that I hope that, you will find one time that works for you. And if you have a friend or family who also is interested, but, this particular time is not suitable, which is fine. The World Pranic Healing website has many, many options. Okay, so I would encourage you to go and try those. Okay, so the topic today was, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, which are designed step by step to get us to a point where we can practice yoga. Yoga means union with the higher soul, union with God. There are many, many steps provided to get there. In one of our sessions, we also talked about the difference between yoga and Swami. So you can go back and check that out on our YouTube videos if you like. And of course, it requires constancy of aim and effort, right? So it requires us to do it every day. So, some people tell me, oh, I meditated, but nothing happened. Okay, so does a mango tree just appear overnight? No, right? You plant a seed, then there's little bit, then there's little bit, then there's little bit, little bit, little bit. One fine day you see the tree and you're like, this happened overnight. It didn't happen overnight. Just like, sometimes we see a fabulous sports player and we are like, he just got lucky, overnight he became a success. That's what we think. But overnight he did not become a success. All through his childhood, all through his teenage years, he was probably just working at it, working at it, and working at it. And one day you reach Mount Everest. So again, if you're climbing a mountain, right? Suppose you're climbing Mount Everest, okay? Keep climbing, keep climbing, keep climbing. One day you reach Mount Everest. Can you say that I just got there overnight? No, you crossed all those steps. It's just that one day you realize that you are on top of Mount Everest. That is different. One day the world realized that you are on top of Mount Everest. That's also okay, but it still took you time to get there. Okay, so constancy of aim and effort, meditation regularly, being aware of all the virtues regularly, and without constancy, without hard work, I don't know. I mean, if you found the formula for overnight success, share it with me also. Okay, so okay, so let's be aware of our heart, be aware of our crown, be aware of our hands. Let's raise our hands in blessing position like this. And now we are going to bless our targets and we're going to bless the earth. Okay, so let's be aware of our targets. So first we are going to do, our financial targets. So hopefully you have a financial target written down. Let's bless our financial target. Make sure it is something that is realistic. And now I'd like you to also think of one little action that you're going to take today, that we're going to take today to make that a reality. One little step today for making our financial target come true. Some people, for example, they want a lot of money, but they haven't opened a bank account, something like that. Okay, don't do that. The kind of business that you're in, people need to pay you via Paytm, but you haven't opened up the Paytm account. This is not an advertisement for Paytm, just trying to encourage everyone to take one little step to make it easier for someone to approach you. Okay, next, let's think of a health target. Let's be aware of any part of our body that is giving us some little trouble. Let's be aware of the law of karma. Let's be aware that any body part that hurts has a role to play, a lesson to teach. Let's be aware and let's bless that part. Let's bless that part with divine healing energy, soothing healing energy. Now let's move on to the third aspect, the third target, which is a relationship target. This week we've been working on the relationship with our own soul. So let's be aware of our soul, of ourselves. Let's visualize ourselves in front of us. So in many schools, they say, look at the mirror and forgive yourself. It's a very powerful exercise. So if you get a chance, I highly recommend it. Look at a mirror while you're doing the forgiveness prayer. But for now, just visualize yourself in front of you. This is you, the soul. Let us pray. I, the soul, salute the divinity within you, my higher soul. I, the soul, respect you. I, the soul, forgive you. I, the soul, forgive you for your laziness in not telling me what I need to do. I, the soul, forgive you for making me a lazy person. I, the soul, forgive you for making me a non-industrious person. I forgive you. This time we'll also do the reverse one together. So let's just say, I, the soul, salute the divinity within you. I, the soul, respect you. Please forgive me for not being as constant as I need to be. Please forgive me for all my laziness. Please forgive me. Now, there's no need to scold yourself. We're just doing the forgiveness prayer. We're acknowledging that there may be some areas where we need to be a little bit more hardworking. It's okay. So this was, let's say, for physical hard work, right? So ask your soul to forgive you for all the hard work that we don't do. Okay, moving on. I, the soul, salute the divinity within you. I, the soul, forgive you for your lack of emotional constancy towards me. Please forgive me for all my emotional laziness. What that basically means is, when we need to have a difficult conversation with someone, do we like fudge around, or do we actually go ahead and have that difficult conversation? That's emotional industriousness. So do we do it, or are we just afraid and we just, push it under the carpet? So I, the soul, forgive my higher soul for all the difficult lessons related to emotional industriousness. And I, the soul, forgive myself for all the laziness associated with emotional laziness. Inhale slowly, feel the energy coming in from the crown, going out through the hands. Be aware of yourself. I, the soul, salute the divinity within you. This is to our higher soul. I, the soul, respect you. This is showing respect to ourselves. I, the soul, forgive you for not communicating your thoughts very clearly to me. And I ask for forgiveness for all my thoughts that have not been fully processed, for my lack of thinking ability, for my lack of effort, of thinking, of planning, of doing. Please forgive me. Please forgive me for not being exactly the way you want me to be. And I forgive you for choosing, this plan that I don't seem to like very much. So if there's anything about your life plan that you're aware of, or some things that are happening around you, you can just forgive yourself. When we do the Achieving Oneness with the Higher Soul workshop by Master Choa, at that point he talks about the fact that it is the soul that chooses some parts of its destiny. And some part of it, of course, is karma that needs to be worked out. So again, if you want more clarification on that, we have a YouTube video called Free Will and Destiny. You can look at that. But for now, I, the soul, salute the divinity within you. This is to my higher soul. I, the soul, forgive you. I forgive you for your lack of industriousness. And please forgive me for my lack of industriousness in this lifetime. Also, sometimes we don't have a clear target. So let's forgive our soul for not having a clear target. And let's forgive ourselves for not understanding the target. Inhale slowly. Exhale slowly. Let's be aware of our spiritual target. Let's bless our spiritual target. Take a workshop, meditate, learn pranic healing, take pranic healing, go for a feed the hungry program. I don't know, whatever your spiritual target is. Let's also bless the earth, which is still struggling with the coronavirus. Let us pray to the Buddha Kuan Yin, the Buddha in charge of mercy and compassion. To the Buddha Kuan Yin, we humbly invoke for your divine, compassionate, purifying light. Thank you for helping to extract, externalize, and raise to higher vibrations any negativity on the planet Earth that is associated with the coronavirus. Thank you for extracting, externalizing, and raising it to higher vibrations. We thank you for freeing the Earth rapidly and properly of any negativity associated with the coronavirus. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you in full faith. Feel the Buddha Kuan Yin, who has 1,000 arms, who is always trying to fulfill the wishes of mankind, humankind, bestowing her energy upon the planet Earth, on the planetary logos. We thank you. Let's also pray to the Lords of Karma. We thank you for your blessings. Thank you for the lessons that you have sent us in this lifetime. Also, please send us help to understand these lessons. Please help humanity learn their lessons rapidly and properly so that the planet Earth, the planetary logos, may be free of the coronavirus. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. With deep humility, with deep acceptance of your plan, we accept. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. If you feel that there is too much karma happening to you, you can also pray to the Lords of Karma to reduce the download of karma for you right now. Remember, if the karma is coming down, it means that the lords of karma think that you're ready to handle it. But there's free will. If you feel you're not, you can just request the lords of karma to download less and to slow down the download. Let's bless our projects, our homes. Visualize bright light flowing through your home. Visualize bright light flowing through your workspace. The workspaces are opening up. Coronavirus cases seem to be rising, but that's okay. We don't need to worry. We can also just bless everyone with a stronger immunity. We all understand that as people's immunity grows, the coronavirus will be rendered powerless, just like the common cold. You know, we all get it, but we don't panic about it. So once our bodies all develop immunity, we'll all be fine. So let's bless ourselves with a strong immune system. Let's bless the earth. Let's bless ourselves. Smile. Be aware of ourselves as a soul. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Project energy to our home, our work, our clients, our workplace. Bless anything else that you'd like to, and release the energy. So thank you, everyone. I hope you had a good time. And this was another session in our series, which is Patanjali's yoga-angas. So again, the YouTube videos will be available on YouTube. Kunal will post the link for those of us who want to share it with other people. So just keep in mind again that the law of forgiveness supersedes the law of karma. So in case you're having any kind of problem, it's really a good idea to, you know, look at your soul, look at the mirror, do forgiveness prayer with yourself. It is one of the fastest ways to solve issues with yourself as well as with others. So that's just my experience. You can try it. Like we said, you know, in pranic healing, you're not required to believe anything. Just try it and validate it for yourself. Okay, so thank you so much.